Hey guys, it's Dr. Cheese. I know you may be wondering why the heck am I posting the Christmas episode of the CheeseCast in mid-February? All right, look, okay, I got really busy over Christmas break. I was visiting my family, traveling, all that jazz, and I didn't have time to edit this episode. I recorded this episode before Christmas, a few days before Christmas, and I'm just now editing it. Look, I have been very busy, okay? Um, and I've been procrastinating a little bit, but for the most part, I've been pretty busy. So, yeah, I apologize for the delay. Just pretend like it's Christmas again. Maybe you need a little extra Christmas spirit in your life right now. So, yeah, I apologize for the delay. And without further ado, please enjoy the special belated Christmas episode of the CheeseCast.
Loop-de-loop and dickory-dock, and don't forget to hang up your sock. Santa Claus is the rock, he'll be coming down the chimney down. He'll be coming down the chimney down. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the used to know. May your days be merry and bright. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very merry episode of the CheeseCast. I'm your host, Dr. Cheese. Hope you all have been having a great winter break, Christmas break. Today is a very special episode of the CheeseCast, as you can tell. I got a little festive. I dressed up. Um, Flannel all around. Got my little blanket on the couch. Got my little Christmas hat on. Hope my hair looks pretty good. I got my as I said, I'm all flanneled up. Got my little cozy pajama, black flannel fleece, whatever you want to call it. Got my classic pajama pants. Everybody owns these pants. Every single human in the whole world owns these pants. And I got my fancy socks. Gonna hang these up on the furnace. Yeah. So today's episode might be I think it'll be a little shorter because I don't have that much written out. You know, it'll be a short and sweet one. I didn't mean for that to be a Sabrina Carpenter reference. It's literally just gonna be a short and sweet episode because it's Christmas. I don't want to make this a giant like 30-minute long episode. And also like I'm kind of busy. So I mean, I didn't really have time to think about like 30 minutes worth of like Christmas themed stuff to talk about. So, this will be a nice little Christmas themed episode. So yeah, it'll be pretty fun. Episode 10, guys. We're on we're on episode 10 of the CheeseCast. There's been 10 episodes. We're in the double digits. That's crazy, man. 10 episodes. You know what's funny is that like with how inconsistent I am in putting episodes out, it's just kind of funny that like this year and last year I put 5 episodes out. Because last year I started the podcast one and episodes 1 through 5. And then this year I did episodes 6 through 10. So I guess it all works out in the end, doesn't it? So yeah, we're gonna start off by answering the riddle from the last episode. Riddle number 9. All right, the riddle from the last episode was: what travels around the world but remains in the corner? I don't know this one. I just don't. What travels around the world but remains in the corner? I guess like some form of geography. That's my closest guess. Because technically everything travels around the world, you know? In the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of space and time, I think everything is traveling constantly, you know? I feel like everything in this whole universe is moving constantly. It's crazy to think about. Because in space, like, I don't think there's anything in space that's like staying perfectly still. You know what I'm saying? Because if something is moving, if something is accelerating, it's accelerating constantly. I didn't just take physics class for nothing, man. I learned my stuff. You know? Isn't it crazy? Like if you press something in space, if you threw like a bouncy ball in space, it would just keep going for infinity. Isn't that so weird to think about? Isn't it also weird to think about like space is infinite? You know what I'm saying? Like there's an infinite amount of space. Just period. Just in general. There is an infinite amount of space. We're getting wildly off topic. All right. The riddle was what travels around the world but remains in the corner? The answer is a stamp. Oh, I feel like I've heard that one before. That was a pretty fun one. What travels around the world but remains in the corner? A stamp. Ah, makes sense. What was the last time you guys sent a letter to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I used to send letters as like a kid back when like I didn't have like a phone or anything. I used to send like I mean, cuz like whenever I would like move to some like new place, that's when I would send letters. I mean, if I was communicating with my friends, I would just wait to see them IRL because you know, like I only sent letters to like my family, like my friends who are far away. Nowadays, I don't really do that anymore. I just find them like online somewhere. It's kind of boring, but you know. I cannot remember I think the last time I sent a letter was to my buddy, my good buddy Landon. I don't know if he's probably not watching this, but if you are Landon, shout out to my boy Landon. Uh yeah, that was the last I sent that last letter I sent was like 3 years ago. Yikes. It's crazy, man. So that was a riddle. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is hold on. There we go. The first thing I want to talk about is what do you guys, in your opinion, what is the greatest Christmas movie of all time? I know this is a pretty common debate on the internet. You know, every new Christmas season, like there's always a Christmas movie ranking. Um, I think I think the most popular why did I say music? I think the most popular Christmas movie is probably like Home Alone. That's a very general statistic. I don't know where I saw that, but I think just in general, I think the most popular Christmas movie is Home Alone. Home Alone is pretty good. It's because here's the thing with Christmas movies. It's like all of them are like very similar, you know. It's usually some like comedy, family comedy slash rom com, and then like at the very end, it ties in the Christmas spirit lesson. It's like it's all about the warm feeling of Christmas spirit, and you just have to feel it and share it with everybody. And you know, it's the same formula, but like you know, they're still all enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing with Home Alone is like it's about a kid. You know what? Now that I think of it, Home Alone has like nothing to do with Christmas. Like it literally has nothing to do with Christmas. It's literally just about Kevin protecting his house and protecting himself from like a bunch of bandits on Christmas, which doesn't have anything to do with Christmas. But they do kind of tie it in at the end with he has a chat with old man Marley. He's an old man who had a falling out with his family, and at the very end, he gets back in touch with his family and his son. And you know, it's all about family. You know that's the moral of the story in Home Alone. Overall, like I honestly don't know what my favorite Christmas movie is because I have a bunch of favorites. You know, there's so many good ones. You know, there's Home Alone 1 and 2, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's a classic. That's always a fun one to watch with the family. What else? We got Polar Express, classic. What else? We got The Grinch. Got why am I blanking? What else do we got? We got Christmas Story. I haven't seen Christmas Story in a while. I kind of forget what that movie's about. I honestly, all I know is that there's a kid in that movie, Ralphie. He wants like a BB gun, something like that. I completely forget the plot of that movie. What else is there? There's what's the one with the gosh? Why am I blank? Christmas Carol, yeah, the one with Jim Carrey in it. That one's a classic. And then there's just like there's so many other like classic, so many other ones that I'm not listing. I'm not mentioning. Honestly, I think for me personally, I might have to go with Christmas Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's so funny, dude. Every year, it's so funny. What's his name? Like I forget the dad's name. What's his name? Like something Griswold, Clark Griswold, Grimwald. I don't know. So I forget his name. Oh my gosh, he's so funny. That's such a great movie. But that's the thing about Christmas movies, you know, like they always have something to bring to the table, you know. They're not just some like random like comedy like oh we're just gonna screw up on Christmas, you know, everything's gonna go terrible, and at the very end it's like you know what, this isn't what Christmas is all about. We need to just be together as a family. You know what I'm saying? Like Christmas movies, they always have something to bring to the table. So I think my favorite Christmas movie right now, I would say National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Just I don't know, because you know you got like the Christmas message, and also it's just like a really funny movie. Close second though, I would say like Home Alone. I would say like probably Home Alone 1 or 2, probably both of them. Both of them are just as good. I don't even want to get started on like the 5 other Home Alone movies. Those ones don't count. But yeah, that's my favorite Christmas movie. What's your guys' favorite Christmas movie? Comment below. Comment on this episode what your favorite Christmas movie is, if you want. All right, so that was that segment. Now let's move on. Gosh, I can't. My nose is killing me. Let's move on to the fun fact of this episode. This one comes from goodhousekeeping.com. Teddy Roosevelt outlawed Christmas trees in the White House. Asterisk. It is rumored that Teddy Roosevelt outlawed Christmas trees in the White House during his term, given that he was a staunch environmentalist. Instead, he celebrated the holiday with a church service and family meal. That sounds a little fake. I think it might be true though. Cuz like all you need to do is like look up and find out if Teddy Roosevelt was an actual like environmentalist. Cuz that does make sense. Like if he was an environmentalist then he wouldn't want to cut down a tree, you know? It makes sense. I mean, it's not the worst thing he could have done. Teddy Roosevelt is actually a goated president, you know? So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's true. I mean, all you have to do is look it up. Like, was he an environmentalist? That's all you have to do. So that was the fun fact. Very interesting. It wasn't very fun though. It was more of a very serious fact. It wasn't very fun of a fact. Anyway, next segment. So I have another who would win segment. So we've done a couple of these on this podcast. Way back in episode 2, I believe, I brought up my classic who would win Shrek versus Mike Tyson, prime Mike Tyson debate. That was a that was a classic one. I always love bringing that one up with like friends and stuff. And then the one from 2 episodes ago, episode 8, was who would win Taylor Swift or Sheldon Cooper. That was the highlight of that episode. Now we're doing another one, guys. We're doing another one with Shrek. Who would win in a fight? Kevin McCallister or Shrek? It's a good one if you think about it. Because Kevin, he's a very smart little chap, you know. He's taken down. He's able to handle like two middle-aged men. He did it twice. He protected himself from two middle-aged men with just like raw like supplies from his house, with just raw materials, you know. So he Kevin McCallister, I honestly think like he is a higher battle IQ than Shrek. But you know, Shrek himself, he doesn't fall for any tomfoolery, you know. I feel like if Shrek locked in, I feel like he could like stand a chance against Kevin McCallister. But like assuming like we're not in a house, I feel like Shrek definitely would win against Kevin McCallister. Because the thing is, like with Kevin, like his raw strength isn't gonna get him anywhere. So like just for the sake of a fair battle, let's say that they're both in a house, okay? Let's say they're both in like a house with like a bunch of everyday materials. I feel like Kevin could definitely put up a good fight, you know? Cuz Kevin had like how much prep time against the Wet Bandits? He had like 20 minutes to set up all the traps. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin, like he is a very fast fellow, you know? He's decisive, he's calculated, he's calm. He could stand a chance against Shrek, but if we're saying this is outside of a house, I think Shrek would definitely like destroy Kevin. So yeah. So in a house, Kevin would probably win. But if we're talking not in a house, if we're talking not in a house, I'd say Shrek would win because there's no way little 9-year-old Kevin is putting up a good fight against, you know, Shrek. Yeah. So I say in a house for the sake of a good battle. If we're putting them in a house, I say it'd be a pretty fair match. But I think Kevin could win. High difficulty though. So yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think Shrek could beat Kevin McCallister? I don't know, man. It's crazy to think about. All right. That was that little bit. Now let's move on to the joke. Alrighty, now it's time to move on to the joke of today's episode. This one comes from cosmopolitan.com. What did the wise men say after they offered up their gifts of gold and frankincense? Wait, there's myrrh. Get it because of myrrh. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the last section of the last segment of this episode. Let's just take a nice reflective meditation together. And I don't know what I'm doing with my hand, but let's just take some time to reflect on all the good things that happened in 2025. Honestly, this was like, I don't know about you guys, but this was a pretty good year. For me personally, like it wasn't anything too crazy, but it wasn't bad, you know? Like if we're putting like all like the natural like inevitable stresses of life, like deadlines and, you know, if we're putting all that stuff aside, it was a pretty good year, you know? We got some pretty decent like games this year. We got some good memes. I mean, there was still a lot of brain rot memes this year, but the ones that we did get that weren't brain rot, they were pretty good. You know, we got like the Minecraft movie, we got like the Crudes. The Crudes came back this year. Dude, that's awesome. The Crudes memes. Oh man. I'm so happy the Crudes is relevant this year. It's so amazing. It's so nostalgic. They're pretty funny memes too. And we got We got the Lorax meme, the Lorax guy. That was pretty fun. What else do we get? What other memes do we get? This is kind of a niche one, kind of a niche meme, but we got the Metro Man edit meme, like from Megamind. We got like the edits of him. That was another fire meme. What else? I feel like there's like another one that I'm missing. I feel like there's another big one that I'm missing. I guess I show speed, but I, I don't know. I show speed has always been like relevant, so I don't think he's exclusive to just this year. Yeah. What else? My personal life. Yeah, just personally, it was just a fun year. Um, got to hang out with friends. Got to see my family a lot. And this was like my first full year of like driving, because I started my driving journey last year when I got my permit. Then I practiced, and then I got my license around Thanksgiving last year. So this was my first full year of driving. So I got to go to some pretty cool places. I got to drive down to visit my friends. That's about it, but that's the furthest I've driven. The furthest I've driven is probably like 2 hours south just to see my friends. And then I also drove to Bucky's with my mom and my sister, which is like 2 hours west. So that's pretty cool. I'm looking to many more fun adventures with me and my car. By the way, I've been thinking about it. I I, I think I mentioned my car, me calling it the Cheesemobile. I've thought of another cool name, Scarlet. It's perfect because it's a red car. Sorry, I just wanted to put that on record. I have another nickname for my car, Scarlet, since it's a red car. So yeah, me and Scarlet have gone on some adventures. Me and the Cheesemobile. I love my car. It's such a nice, perfect little car for me. I'm very thankful for that. And lastly, I hope you guys had a good year. I heard like 2025 was like kind of a mid-year for some reason for some people. I can definitely see that, but for me personally, I feel like last year, 2024, I feel like that was a mid-year. Like, I don't know. I just feel like 2024 was just kind of like meh. It wasn't terrible, but like definitely could have been better. 2025 is just it just felt right for me, and I'm very thankful for that. Um so I hope you guys had a great 2025. And if you didn't, hey, there's always next year. But don't get your hopes up. Don't go out saying like 2026 is going to be my year. You don't. No, here's how I do it. Whenever I start something, whenever I go to something, like whenever I have to like go to like some kind of just anything, I go in with the expectation of this is going to be terrible. That I always go in with really stupidly low expectations. And then if it is bad, then it's not surprising, you know? I say, "Oh, I expected this. This is bad, just as I expected." So I'm not disappointed. But if it just so happens to turn out to be really awesome, then you're like, "Wow, this is so much better than I expected." You know what I'm saying? It's like that one. It's like what MJ says in Spider-Man. Expect disappointment and you won't be disappointed. That's my word. That's my word of advice for this Christmas episode. It's my moral of the story, my golden moral for this Christmas episode. Yeah. I'm kind of sad, man. It's the end of 2025. I didn't I didn't do that many videos on my channel this year. I kind of did. It didn't really feel like it though, cuz like I don't know. I'm just sad that it's sad that 2025 is over, you know? It was a good year. 2025. We'll never have a 2025 ever again. It's just sad, man. It's a good year. But I don't know when I'm going to post this, but probably most likely before Christmas. So like we still got a few days left, so you never know what could happen. Maybe a Christmas miracle will happen. Maybe it'll make your year just in time for the new one. Well, guys, it's been a pretty jolly episode, you know. Next time I will see you guys on the podcast, it'll be 2026. That's crazy. We're living in the future. 2026. We're literally in the future. Like that's a lot of years, you know. 2026, 2026. That's a lot of years. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And also, I just wanted to I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, and I will mention this next episode. And this is kind of like bad news, but also like expected news. So, if you guys didn't know, I am taking a break from YouTube in the summer of 2026. I'm just going to take a huge break. So, like I'm going to keep making videos and like the CheeseCast. I'm going to continue doing this until then. But I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by like summer of 2026, and then after I do, I'm gonna take a huge break from like YouTube stuff because I will have other priorities in my life, and for the most part, I'm very satisfied with the status of my channel right now. I've made a lot of the stuff I want to make, and I already explained it in one of my videos I posted, um, probably like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I don't know. But yeah, so you might be wondering, well, what's going to happen to the podcast? I regret to say that there will only be 2 more episodes of this podcast. Episode 11 and episode 12. 12 will be the last one. And, it's just sad, you know. The reason I'm ending it at 12 is just because, like, I feel like it's just a good number to end off on, you know? I feel like most, like, shows and seasons, they only have, like, 12 episodes. So, yeah, that'll be cool. Just end off the CheeseCast on episode 12. I didn't want to end it off on like 13 because that's just like weird. Like why end it off on 13? Like that's a weird number. And then but like if I went to 14, it would be like too much, you know? Like I don't want to drag this out just for the sake of quantity. I want to like keep it short for the sake of quality. So yeah. Next year, 2026, will be episode 11 and 12 of the CheeseCast. And then that'll be it. That'll be the end of this podcast. Because I will be taking a break from YouTube, and this podcast is mainly on YouTube. I've always thought of putting this on like Spotify. I might, just for the heck of it one day. I might. It's always an option. It's never too late. But yeah, that's how long have I been going? 34. Dang, bro. Gosh. Maybe this was a long episode. I thought this would be short. Well, guys, that's all for me. I hope you all are having a Merry Christmas. Or if you're not celebrating Christmas, I hope you're having a happy holiday. I want to be all inclusive, as I said last time. Hope it's not too stressful. I hope it's not too sad. Hope it's not too lonely. Just hope you guys have a nice, wholesome little Christmas. Rest up, guys. Take it easy. That's all for me. We are going to close out with our riddle. And this riddle is a special one. So we are going to close out with our riddle. This one is a special riddle because, it's Christmas. It's the end of the year. I wanted to make it a little special. This riddle is by me. I thought of this riddle all by myself. Here it is. The riddle is, what are you looking forward to the most in 2026? Oh, how original. Ooh. You'll have to ask yourself the riddle. You'll have to find out the answer for yourself. What are you looking most forward to for 2026? I don't know. We all have our different things that we're looking forward to. So, yeah. Well, I I don't know how to answer that because usually there's like an answer that we reveal next episode, but it's kind of a self question you gotta ask yourself. That's the riddle. Very creative. So yeah. Dang, it's kind of sad, It's the end of the year. It's the last episode. I don't want to end off. Because after this, I got 2 more episodes of this podcast. All right, guys. Well, it's been a jolly good year. I hope you all, one more time, I hope you all have a good Christmas for all of those who are celebrating. Hope you all can be with your family. Hope you all get everything on your Christmas list. Yeah, because that's awesome. Yeah, that's all for me. I'm Dr. Cheese, and you've been listening to the CheeseCast. It's getting pretty loud outside. It's getting pretty windy. Silver bells, silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, dee-ling-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, guys. See you guys in the next episode. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide, and it's to the fire, and the time and the song. A turkey and some mistletoe. And so I'm offering the simple phrase. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. See you next episode, guys. Take care. Merry Christmas.